PC Dean.
Okay.
Card number 17920.
Thank you. And yourself?
Okay.
Why are you lot all coming out like this? You're making me feel nervous.
Because
Like.
when people start filming outside of our police station, it tends to alert.
This case kicks off with what should be one of the most uneventful interactions imaginable, someone filming on a public pavement. But as you'll see throughout this footage, the officers escalated almost instantly, using phrases like terrorism, antisocial behavior, and unknown risk as pressure points rather than legally grounded assessments. In this breakdown, we're going to unpack the mistakes, the misuse of legislation, and the subtle, and not so subtle, intimidation tactics officers sometimes rely on when they want control of a situation that's perfectly lawful. Pay special attention to how quickly the tone shifts. A calm, casual auditor simply filming turns into officers circling, probing, and over-asserting. We'll also highlight the verbal strategies used, like implied guilt, rhetorical escalation, and shifting legal justifications, as well as the moments where the auditor pushes back with complete accuracy. Stay tuned. Because what unfolds isn't just a misunderstanding, it's a masterclass in how police can unknowingly undermine their own authority by misquoting laws, contradicting themselves, and doubling down even when correct.
Police officers look like,
What?
okay?
Okay.
No procedures for getting in and out of the building safe and securely, so that in that way they can potentially perform a terrorist attack, okay, and have it all on recording. So that's why we come down and we like to check to make sure why they are. So you asked me to identify myself.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Would you like
identify. No,
yourself, sir?
no.
Why is that?
I'm not required to. I'm not committing any offence.
You're not required to because you're not committing any offence.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, you are in a public place.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Exactly.
So under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act,
Okay.
you could be required to identify yourself with name and address, or you could be arrested, okay, if your
What if
behaviour is
I'm
believed to be
antisocial?
behaviour.
So am I?
Here's where the first major red flag appears: invoking terrorism. Officers often use this term because it carries emotional weight. Even when they say, "I'm not saying you are," the psychological effect is the same. It shifts the interaction from neutral to suspicious, but legally, filming a police station is not an indicator of terrorism. If anything, the Home Office has repeatedly acknowledged that photography in public, even of sensitive sites, is lawful. The officer's phrasing here subtly frames the auditor as someone who must justify their innocence rather than someone exercising a right. This is a classic power imbalance tactic: introduce a severe implication early, then walk it back while letting the suspicion linger. And notice, the auditor hasn't done a single thing wrong.
I wouldn't suggest using the Section 50 power. You would have to prove that I'm behaving antisocially, causing members of the public harassment, alarm, and.
It's a grievance.
Okay, so how's my
If
behaviour?
you're filming and in fact you're standing outside, you cause a member of the public to walk past and feel completely distressed by the fact that you.
How would they feel distressed by that? Am I engaging anyone else? I'm just here filming
When
you.
you walk past. Since
What
you
are
walk
we
past
doing?
whilst
Are
you're
you going to nick me now? Are you?
Well, I'm
We
going
don't
to
need
ask you to move on, sir.
I'm not going to move on. I'm in a public place.
At the moment, you're not in a public place, sir. This is.
The moment Section 50 enters the conversation, the entire tone shifts again. Section 50 of the Police Reform Act is extremely specific. It applies only when a person is actively causing harassment, alarm, or distress. Simply filming, even if the police dislike it, does not qualify. What we see here is a soft form of legal bluffing. By introducing the possibility of arrest, the officer tries to prompt compliance through fear rather than lawful justification. It's subtle but effective on people who don't know their rights, so the auditor immediately challenges it, and correctly so. This is where the officer begins to pivot, trying to stretch the definition of antisocial behavior to include someone might walk past and feel distressed. That is not how the law works, and the officer likely knows this. It's a shaky legal foundation, and the auditor calls it out perfectly.
Not a private place.
This
How is
isn't
this?
pavement.
How is this a private place? Look at where we are. Look. Just so the camera can pick it up. Yeah. So if it.
So there's your yellow lines.
No. You're talking nonsense, mate. You're talking
talking
rubbish. And there
nonsense.
you are, mate. You're trying to flex jurisdiction. Let's just pack it in. Yes, you
If
are.
you want to carry on filming,
I will carry on
feel
filming.
free, but just step on
No,
that
I'm not
pavement
going to
for
step
me,
there.
sir.
So
Because
we've got
this
so
is
we've got
private
so
land
section
in the
so we've
Metropolitan
gone
Police.
section 50 and now we're talking about private land. What's
Private
next?
land in the Metropolitan
What's
Police.
next? What's next?
So I'm correct in what I'm telling you.
No,
okay?
you're just flexing
I'm not
unnecessarily.
flexing at
Yes,
all.
you
I don't need to
are.
flex unnecessarily. You're not an issue to me. 179.
All right, I'm not an issue.
Crack
No
it down.
worries.
You are not an issue to me.
Good.
I have no reason to
Good.
flex to you.
Good.
You are not that much of an issue.
Good.
I'm
Then
saying,
then there
right,
should be
carry
no
on filming.
reason. There should be
Back onto the
there should be
pavement
no
over there. It's not a problem
there
at
should be
all.
no concerns about me filming then if that's the case.
Well, generally there is concerns.
Well, you just said that I'm not an issue to you.
You're not an issue for me to flex. That means I'm not bothered by you. You're not big, high and mighty, okay?
Okay. It's not about me. It's about you. This is about your ego, not about mine.
It's not about
Not about your. Yeah, of course it
Your
is.
ego needs to be approved and swept and fucking stroked because you're standing.
Did you
there.
just swear?
Because yeah, I did just swear.
So
I'm
you
not
just
in a public place.
of course you're in a public place. You just committed a section 5.
I'm not in a public place.
Hold
This is
on.
private land.
Dean, bruh,
This is
pack it
private
in,
land.
mate. Pack it in,
Public
mate.
place is over there.
Pack it in, mate.
Public
Mate,
place
pack
is
it
over
in
there.
right now. Don't swear again. We're all in a public place. This is all public.
Private.
This is all public. This is all publicly accessible. Show me where the boundary is that denotes public and
yellow
private.
line.
No, double yellow line doesn't denote private property. Dean, mate, you're digging yourself a hole. You're digging yourself a hole. You just swore. You started with section 50. Then you're saying private property. Even if this was private property, it's a civil matter. This is publicly accessible. This isn't private property anyway.
This is private
mate,
land, sir.
Mate, this has not been good. Mate, this ain't good.
Okay.
Why are you swearing? Can I swear? Can I use the F word?
You can swear if you want, sir.
So I can say fuck, yeah?
Congratulations.
Fuck. Yeah, no, I feel good, yeah.
Well done. Okay. Just we'll carry through. We're going to pay.
And you did swear in a public place.
Private.
This ain't private, mate. No, it's not. You're making yourself look ridiculous. Just go back inside, mate. All right.
In addition to what my colleagues are telling you, you have to take a pinch of common sense as well.
I don't have to take a pinch of nothing. I don't have to take any advice from any of you. I'm in a public place filming, which is lawful. And you've tried to threaten me. Yeah, you have. Yes, you have. You haven't educated me. I'm educating you right now. Go on.
Like, with you standing so close to the entrance...
I'm not obstructing you, am I?
No, but you need to listen. With you standing so close to an entrance, filming, that poses security questions for us, okay? There are people who wish to do the police harm.
Okay, I'm not one of those.
Okay, but we don't know that, do we?
Well, you have to go based on what you do know.
Private land argument is one of the weakest points in the entire interaction. The officer attempts to claim that a completely open pavement is private property based on nothing more than a yellow line, a line that has absolutely zero legal meaning regarding property boundaries. A public land is defined by access, not by who owns it. Even if the police did own the ground, they don't. If it's freely accessible to the public with no signage, fencing, or controlled entry, it is treated as public space. This back and forth reveals the officers scrambling for some justification, any justification, to control the auditor's camera. When one legal angle fails, section 50, they pivot to another, private property. But each explanation contradicts the last. The auditor exposes these contradictions quickly, which creates visible frustration in the officers and contributes to the tension that follows.
You're not letting me finish, so that you can't understand my point. Okay. By you standing here, common sense would dictate that poses a security risk.
Why? Is the building not secure? Like, you lot are armed, like you've got a taser. Like, what sort of security risk is it?
Standing here constantly, filming cars coming in and out.
Marked cars that are paid for by the taxpayer. I've got every right to film them.
Right next to where gate opens in and out. Like I said, you're an unknown risk. You've got a bag, we don't know what you've got on you. You could run in, you could have something on you that we don't know.
Yeah, well,
so that's why
I mean, there's lots of members of the public that have stuff on them that you don't know.
I know, but they're not.
Are they all unknown risks as well? Yeah, well, I can be here.
Everyone's an unknown risk.
Everyone's an unknown risk. We don't live in a police state where everyone's an unknown risk and you're constantly doing surveillance. What sort of you lot have been brainwashed or something? I'm just a member of the public. Chill out. We're not all unknown risks. What are they teaching you in training? Unknown risk. Is this a police state? Do you have to spy on each other? Or like we all have to like snitch on each other? What's going on here? Like, what is going on here?
So we have to manage risk. So we always have to manage risk, and that's why we have to do unknown risk and known risk.
No.
So anything that we don't know is unknown to us, so we have to treat it with an element of caution.
Okay.
Yeah? That's fair to say, isn't it? That's a common sense approach to this. And because we don't know you, you've not identified yourself with us, we don't know the risks that you pose.
Would you identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm PC Cook,
okay.
1654.
Sure.
Yeah? And I'm just talking to you like I would to anybody else.
All right.
And that's the point I'm trying to impress to you today, sir, that's all.
Okay, now what?
Well, like my colleague said, because we don't know you, we don't know the risks, we are going to just ask you to move on to the public point.
This is public here. I guarantee you 100% this is public here.
But with your proximity...
And even if it was private, this is publicly accessible. Look. Just for some context, right? He's saying this yellow line denotes where it's public, where it's private. So how could this possibly be private property? Even, let's say, hypothetically, it was private property, yeah? Who owns this property? Does the Met Police own this property, or would they hypothetically lease the property?
Owns this property.
No, they don't.
Council.
Okay, right. So, who pays for the council? How's
the
the council funded? I'm pretty sure this is leased anyway. I'm pretty sure the Met don't own this.
This was gifted to us.
So,
you know that for a fact, do you? Well, you got flowers on your radio.
Why not?
So
I'm
if
just asking
you
why.
went into a shop, if you went into a shop and they had a counter with no barriers either side, you would know that
Yeah,
behind,
that shop's not paid for by the taxpayer.
No, but behind that kiosk area, even though you can access it,
This is where the professionalism of the officers completely unravels. One of them swears, clearly, audibly, then immediately tries to flip the situation by accusing the auditor of committing a Section 5 public order offense for reacting to his profanity. Section 5 requires threatening, abusive, or disorderly behavior likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. A police officer swearing in frustration does not meet that standard, nor does a member of the public simply responding. The officer's reaction shows a complete misunderstanding of his own training, or, worse, an attempt to weaponize the law emotionally. This moment is important because it signals that the officers are no longer following legislative logic, they're reacting based on ego and embarrassment. This is when encounters move from simply misguided to actively unprofessional.
is an inaccessible point. That's another common sense approach. So you can see that from there to here, and then this bit here, common sense would dictate that this is not a public part of the domain. Yeah?
Okay, well this is all paid for by tax money, so.
But you have to, you understand why we're talking.
You understand how like fiscal policy works? So the government tax, and then they spend on public services, and this is that. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a fiscal policy, it's the economic policy, right? So it dictates how spending and taxation works.
Okay, I'm not here for a lesson, I'm just trying to talk to you.
Right. And I'm just trying to explain to you.
As a person,
Yeah.
from a person to a person, why we are managing the risk of somebody standing by the entrance that's constantly used to a police station.
Okay, have I satisfied that I'm not a risk?
Well, no, because we
Alright, well how are you going to satisfy it then?
Well, we're just...
Just remember, everything I'm doing right now is perfectly legal, so just remember that. And it's not antisocial. Well, why did you backpedal on that?
I didn't backpedal.
Yeah, you
so I
did.
educated you
But
fully.
why are you not nicking me under section 50 then?
Because I don't have reasons to pick it. It doesn't mean backpedaling.
Okay.
I'm trying to approach you with common sense. I don't like to unnecessarily criminalise people.
Oh, thank you. Good,
So-
good,
Me and my colleague tried to appeal to your common sense nature, but clearly
good. I'm
If
happy
you
that
are
you're not. I'm
those
happy that you're not
what's coming up.
criminalising people. That's good. You know of any officers doing stuff like that?
do I know of any else
Yeah.
unnecessary criminal?
Yeah, yeah. Never heard of that. Right, good, good. And why? How you know you swore in a public place as well?
I didn't swear.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. And if that has offended you, then I do apologise, but I did not swear in a public place.
You did. You said the F word. I've got it on
I'm
camera.
not in, I swore, but I'm not in a public place.
All right. If you say so.
The introduction of the phrase unknown risk is deeply problematic. In policing, risk must be based on observable behavior, intelligence, or genuine grounds for suspicion, not on the simple fact that a person exists in public with a camera. Calling every member of the public an unknown risk is not a legal standard.